As runners, we all challenge ourselves in ways we never thought possible, pushing the boundaries of what we're capable of to smash through targets and set ourselves new, bigger and better ones.
This awesome hobby that we share gives us one thing in common, and it brings us together as a community. Whether you're working towards completing your first parkrun or you're a veteran of the sport who's run 100 ultra marathons, we all know the feeling of reaching that maxed out effort and our own red line.
Welcome to our podcast, where your hosts Brett Elesmore and Andy Maguire discuss the struggles, the successes and everything in between on our running journeys, as we all work towards the next time we're running the red line. Hello and welcome to episode 61 of Running the Red Line. I am your host Brett, and I am joined as always by my co-host Andy. How you
Found
doing?
it. I knew I had it somewhere. It's in my pocket. I was just talking to you about this camera earlier. So I can't find my camera anywhere. It's in my pocket the whole time. Sorry, mate.
Excellent. How you doing this week?
Yeah, not bad. Just got back from a long run and feel like I'm seizing up already. So a 2-hour podcast is going to be great for that.
Yes, we should actually say, shouldn't we, that it is Saturday and not our usual Friday record today, as I was at I was at my nephew's wedding yesterday, which was fantastic. Yeah, great day, lovely evening. Had a very late night. I think I got to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning last night, and then I was up at 7 to get me running so I could then go for breakfast with the family in the morning.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm a little bit tired today, but it's all good. It's all good.
When you did your panorama of the marquee, I was trying to guess where it was, but I couldn't. Was it Stanbrook Abbey?
No, it was in a place called Warwick House in
Wootton Wowen.
No. Where were we? Southam.
Okay. No, I've never been there.
So near Gaydon.
Yeah, sort of Warwickshire, sort of Northamptonshire. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But
a good wedding. Did you?
Yeah, it was brilliant. They were going to have it outside, but because the weather was variable and they weren't sure whether it was going to be dry or not, they had it inside in the end. But it ended up being dry the whole time, and it started raining after they'd had their photos outside. So it worked out perfectly.
That's good. Yeah. So what was the, did you have a drink, or did you stay dry all day?
Yeah, I was very good. We came out of the ceremony and there was drinks laid out. So I went over to what I thought was orange juice, took a sip, and it was Bucks Fizz. And I went, so I handed that to my dad and then had a different drink. But yeah, I've stayed teetotal for the night. So same as I have all the way through this block. So yeah.
Did you hit the dance floor hard later on?
A little bit at the end. I didn't. I wasn't on there for the whole night. That's a young man's game.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say I'm tapering, guys. Okay, I'm on my London Marathon taper. I hope you managed to tell every single wedding guest. Like, don't go and speak to that kid over there. He's just going to start talking to you about his bloody marathon.
Yeah, I did have a couple of people come up to me and say, "How's the running going?" And then I was stood talking to them for
That's the worst. That's the worst thing a non-runner can ask a runner. How's the running going? That happens all the time, doesn't it? How's the running going? What's that even mean?
Yeah.
How's the running going?
Yeah.
Fine, thanks. Yeah, cheers.
But the main bit of dancing we did was they had a violinist playing whilst we were having the wedding breakfast, and just after we'd had pudding and coffee and everything, he said, "Right, this is my last song I'm going to be playing, so I need you all up on your feet." And I don't know what the name of the song is, but it's like a Italian style song, and it goes, and he was playing that, and everybody was like holding hands, and he said, everybody put your arms on the person's shoulder next to you, and we were all dancing, and then everybody started going round the tables, and then we all started holding hands and just like dancing around the tables. It was great fun.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds mint.
Good.
I tell you, have you ever been to a ceilidh?
What's that?
So I think it's a traditional Catholic. You have someone have to correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it's a Celtic thing or a Catholic thing. I'm not quite sure, but you'd think the word ceilidh sounds Irish or Welsh to me, or Scottish. I'm not quite sure, but it's basically an interactive. You normally find them at birthday parties or weddings or big events, where it's like the British version of like line dancing or like a do-si-do. So there'll be you'll have to have a partner, and you get partnered up for the evening, sort of thing. Well, you constantly swap partners, I think. But what you do is you sort of face each other on the dance floor, and then the people at the back, they turn, they do a twizzle, and you all run. They all twizzle down the dance floor, and everyone's clapping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you make an arch for them and stuff like that, and it's just carnage.
Yeah.
And at weddings, I've done these before, and it's normally a fiddle band. There's like a double bassist, and then a violinist, and maybe someone on percussion. It's normally three of them, and it's someone with a mic teaching everyone all the moves, and it's just getting drunk people to do silly things, basically. And it's just absolutely brilliant. So whenever I've had to like do photos at a wedding or a video or doing videos, if it's a ceilidh, it's just content gold, because there's always people falling over, or there's people, pulling the worst or the best faces, and so it's always really, really good fun. But
brilliant. Can you you mentioning it? Can you remember country dancing at first school?
What, around the maypole?
No, we used to do country dancing in the the gym in first school. They used to do like a country dancing session. So PE, instead of doing a sport, we all had to do country dancing and get a partner and do do-si-doing and all that sort of stuff.
Country dancing, that's a Bromsgrove and Redditch thing. Country dancing. We used to have I'm pretty sure there was a country dancing festival, and we'd always go to a school around about this time of year. Is it April? When's the maypole? Well, it's May, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like dancing around them. I'm sure the country dancing thing, or am I thinking of Morris dancing? Is that around the maypole?
I think, Well, maypole dancing is where they hold the ribbon on the maypole, and they dance in between each other, and it plats around the pole.
Yeah. And again, it's carnage, isn't it? With a load of like 7-year-olds trying to remember how to like make this perfect little thread.
Whereas Morris dancing is the ones where they've got sticks and they hit the sticks against each other, and they've got bells on their feet and stuff.
Yeah. But no, I remember the country dancing thing. That was pretty funny. I wonder if that's a Midlands thing. Or,
we just need Nessa and Bryn singing "Islands in the Stream."
Yeah, what an episode that is. Is that Gwen's surprise party?
I'm not entirely sure.
Bryn's organised it, isn't he? Yeah. They do a barn dance, don't they?
Yeah. Brilliant.
Good episode.
Yeah, but the wedding was good because my nephew Zach is the eldest of 4 boys, so they all stood up and did a speech because all 3 of his brothers were best men.
Yeah.
And they all did a speech and everything, and it was a really good day, And Sophie, his now wife, she is an organising machine, and she's basically organised and planned the whole wedding herself. So she did all the table decorations and the signs for the different tables and stuff. And really nice idea. She got a photo of each of them when they were different ages. So table 1 had a photo of her and Zach when they were 1, and table 2 when they were 2, which was really cool. And then she made the wedding cakes. So all the wedding cakes she made, but the one that they had for the photos and they cut she made like a false wedding cake, but a section of real cake that they could cut.
Yeah.
But then all the wedding cake that the guests could have was already cut and ready in the other room. Very clever.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Did you enjoy the food that was laid on? You must have been eating like a
it was
king.
good. Well, the wedding breakfast was good. So I had soup to start, and then we had like a roast chicken dinner, which was really good, and then sticky toffee pudding and coffee to finish, which was nice. And then in the evening, they had like buffet style, but with people serving, and they had either bacon baps, hot dogs, or pulled pork rolls, and then all the wedding cake and stuff. So yeah, it was really good.
So did you say it was a late one then? And more importantly, how was your run this morning then?
Well, yeah. So the wedding itself finished at 1, but by the time everybody had like come down and we'd gone to our Airbnb, because I was sharing an Airbnb with my sister, her husband, and kids. Yeah. So by the time we'd all settled down, and then I'd done my pre-bedtime stretching and everything, it was about 3 o'clock when I get to bed. So yeah, when I woke up this morning, I was pretty tired.
I love that you did a warm down from a wedding. Some stretching.
Yeah, but yeah, when I got up this morning, yeah, my body wasn't fully functional, but yeah, it was all right. It weren't too bad at all. I'm just so annoyed with my right quad at the moment, because it just feels on that verge of pinging and going again. But I don't know whether it's just a sensation, like it's feeling like it's going to do that and it's not, or whether it actually is. But and the left leg, it's getting there. So yeah, it was all right. Weren't too bad at all. Yeah, just a nice steady 5K this morning.
So
that's
no Parkrun today.
No. I was sitting down for breakfast at 9 o'clock, which is bizarre for me, because my first meal of the day, normally on a usual day, is about midday. I normally don't eat till lunchtime.
Really?
So eating breakfast at 9 o'clock in the morning was very odd.
So you don't normally have anything before? So on a day when you're, I don't know, not working or something, and you've got to run, will you, like when you run up to the shop or whatever?
Yeah.
Will you just run up fasted and then just have your lunch at 1 o'clock or whatever? And over the years, you've just become, that's just become normal.
Yeah, and like on a Sunday, I'll get up in the morning. If it's like a proper long run, like in the block, I've been having like a carb drink and a couple of blocks of Voom bar before I go out for my run, but then have my breakfast when I come home. So yeah, it's just my standard day. I don't really eat in the morning. I just have a pint of water with electrolytes in, and then maybe have a coffee, and then crack on.
Well, like, because I've done like quite a bit. I very rarely run a long run on a Saturday because I can't run tomorrow, and that's what I've done today. But last night's dinner, because I was thinking a similar thing, because I was out early. I say early, it's not early going to Parkrun, is it? But I was out at 8 o'clock, and I thought, and I had a couple of pieces of toast this morning, sourdough toast, just the absolute. I just love sourdough toast with just some butter. Have I told you about this M&S butter that we're just addicted to at the moment? It's got like salt crystals in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It is just unbelievable. It is so. I get in so much trouble constantly because when Laura's at work, have we had a bread and butter chat? I mean, things are about to get wild. But like, I'm a big fan of a butty, just like a bread and butter sandwich. Do you know?
Yeah.
There's never any bread in our house because I can't be asked to like make lunch or something, so I just have bread and butter.
Yeah,
and I just use
a sandwich. Yeah.
So I just use all the butter, and Laura just comes home and she just gives me the look, and just lays into me. I was like, I'm sorry. I just, I just had.
Is there anything better than fresh, warm bread with some butter on, just a slice of fresh warm bread, whatever type of bread.
Few things. There are a few things better than that. And the good thing is about, I mean, you probably will wince at this, but we get our sourdough and put it straight in the freezer. So we'll cut it and it'll go straight in the freezer. Oh,
I
you
do
do the same?
I do exactly the same. Yeah.
So, because I mean, to eat it in its, in its best form, you've got to eat it all within about 12 hours, haven't you? Because it starts to go quite tough afterwards. Yeah. So, and then pre-cut it because you've got no chance of cutting it when it's frozen. And then get a couple of slices out straight in the toaster.
Yeah.
And
I normally put it in defrost on the microwave first for a couple of minutes and then toast it.
Well, our toaster has got a defroster setting.
Yeah, mine has as well, but I don't trust it.
Yeah, I think it basically just does a twice as long.
Toast it for longer, yeah.
I don't really think it's really a very impressive button.
Because I don't really like toasted toast. I like warm bread with a slight toasting. If I put white bread in and it comes out brown, it's a bit too done. If it comes out slightly yellow, perfect.
I've seen, I don't know if you've probably seen this with, maybe I'm talking to the converted ear, but anyone who drinks tea will probably have seen this chart. But have you seen this like battleship style thing of classic cups of tea? And you can say you're a C1 or a D3, and it's different shades of your cup of tea. Well, I've seen one of them again with toast about how, you've got like pure black charcoal on this side, but then right up here is like hardly even toasted at all. Yeah. And you can, but again, that was a cool piece of art I saw in my friend's house. But the tea one, that can start world wars, I think, because many.
Big time.
But I think I make a decent cup of tea. I make my mum a cup of tea. She's like, "Oh, this is rubbish." But I know people that put 2 tea bags in their
again to make it stronger. Yeah,
I don't do that, but that must be a really strong brew.
Yeah. But I know people who like their tea so it's orange, so it's got hardly any milk in at all. They want a strong builder's brew. But then other people, like my brother-in-law, if you give him a cup of tea which isn't milky enough, he's like, the cow's on strike.
The cow's on strike, yeah. See, I'm always more on the probably tighter end of life. I don't actually put that much milk in my tea, and that's the number one complaint I have from people I make tea for, are the cows on strike. I was like, no, I'm just not very wasteful with my milk. I don't want to put half a pint that you would have in your tea. So but tea, I think, is quite a what's the word? It's quite a personal thing, isn't it? Sometimes I just feel like saying, I'll boil the kettle and I'll put your tea bag in the cup over to you.
Yeah.
Make it yourself. Because if you know how you like it, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Either don't complain about it or get what you're given.
Yeah, so I'll go around to my mum and dad's and make them a cup of tea. And my mum always goes, "Oh, that's a lovely cup of tea." And I think it's partly because she's making herself a cup of tea so often. When someone else makes it for her, it's a nice change because it's different to the way she always has it.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the tea bags I've got in my house, because I don't drink tea very often. I'm a coffee drinker, but tea is like a nighttime drink, like to go to bed on. But I've got some of the what brand is it? I can't remember what brand, but it's the biscuit tea. So it tastes like it's had biscuits dunked into it.
Yeah, so it's slightly sweeter. Yeah. Or you can taste like a rich tea in there.
Or
a digestive or something. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
It's quite nice. I quite like it.
That Peter Kay sketch is, or a bit on his stand-up is pretty legendary. Where he's like, "I've dropped the biscuit in me brew."
The whole slow motion bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but
what's your favorite dunkable biscuit?
I would probably. I haven't had one. Now I've just mentioned it. I don't think I've had one for 5 years, but probably a rich tea. I think a rich tea and a cup of tea is just.
It's
the one, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah. And to make it so it's better dunkable, rich tea fingers rather than the round ones.
I don't think I've had rich tea fingers. No, I don't think I've ever had rich tea fingers. Have you put a nice biscuit, or do you call them nice? I've always called them nice biscuits.
Them are nice biscuits.
That's why they're called nice biscuits. Do you ever put them in your tea?
They're a bit too sugary to go in the tea, because then it makes the tea sugary, and I don't want sugary tea. That's another thing with me. Like, people who put sugar in tea and coffee, they don't like tea and coffee. They might as well just have sugary water.
I used to be instant coffee, 3 sugars. Used to be 3 sugars, milk.
And you know why, though?
One of the worst drinks. And
it's because you were having instant coffee. There's nothing worse than that.
Instant coffee. Yeah, I mean, we've chatted about that several times when people have offered you a drink and
Nescafe.
I feel like interviewing them before we actually make the drink. It was like, do you want a cup of coffee? Yeah, go on then. I was like, whoa, I'll stop you there. Why are you walking over towards the kettle? I'm not interested. No, just get me a glass of water.
If you haven't got a little espresso cup like you've got at the moment, I don't want one.
If I haven't got a drink that makes me feel like a giant, I'm not interested.
It's got to be a small cup for you to feel like that.
Yeah, it's a very, very small cup.
That photo of you and Mac and Sam the other week was brilliant.
I think I'm getting smaller. You know, like that, when you start to get older and your spine starts to give way to gravity. I think it's happened now in my 30s. I think I've peaked. My height has peaked, and now I'm getting small. I've got to stop hanging around with tall people. I've got to start hanging around with people.
You're going to go and live in Hobbiton soon, aren't you?
Well, hang on a minute. You, Peter Crouch, you're only like an inch taller than me. You can't go around giving it the big one.
I don't know. Hang on, how tall are you?
Well, I'll tell everyone I'm 5'8", but I'm probably 5'7.5".
Yeah, I'm 5'10". So
officially, or was that when you had
without shoes
hair?
On?
When you had hair?
No, officially without shoes on. I'm 5'10". I
want to measure myself because I'm not actually sure. I actually used to say I was 5'9", but I don't think that's true. I actually think I'm
5'9" with heels on.
4'9". Well, speaking of wearing heels, I bought some women's shoes this week.
Yeah, oh yes, you have.
So I went up to Cannock because up there's a designer outlet and they've got all like the running brands, and there's a Saucony shop there, and I went there, I don't know, 18 months ago, and I managed to get some Speed 3s really cheap. It was around Black Friday, and I went in there just on the off chance they had something. And I saw that they had in women's some Speed 3s, same colorway as the pink ones that I've had before that I've put 1,000K in, but they're women's. So I tried them on, and they were a UK size 9.5 and like a US 11.5 or something like that. So the sizing was all confusing.
Yeah.
Or a size 12 because I went for a 9.5. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah,
women. I'm going to get the box.
Yeah. Go on.
So it's a US 11.5. You see that?
Yeah, because women's sizes are very different to men's, because the US sizes are normally a size and a half bigger than the UK size?
Is it
2 sizes? Is it 2 sizes?
Here it's 2.
Yeah, but sorry, I'm getting confused because Adidas. So normal, all other brands other than Adidas are the men's UK sizes are a full size smaller than the US sizes, but in women's it's 2 sizes.
Yeah.
But in Adidas, it's half a size for the men's and a size and a half for women's.
Well, I was speaking to the worker there, and she was saying that there's not really any difference in the construction of the shoe. It's just that it's so much narrower. And I've got, going back to me being small, I've got freakishly narrow feet. So women's shoes seems to fit me really, really well. So we've got, so if you're Brenda, I can definitely be Andrea, I think, because look, can you see the price as well on there?
I know, was 110, now 50 quid.
So 50 quid for a brand new pair of Endorphin Speed 3s. Yes, I know they're women's. And I've worn them twice for 2 sessions. Wore them on Tuesday on the grass and wore them on Thursday on the track. And they literally feel amazing.
Yeah. Because I did say to you when you bought them, didn't I, that you have to be careful sometimes with women's shoes because the heel pitch sideways is different to allow for the difference in women's hips and the way their pelvis and their hips work.
Yeah.
The angle of the sole, the midsole on the back of the shoe is different in some women's and men's shoes. That's why they're gendered in the shoes. Yeah. But some are unisex. So like a lot of race day shoes are unisex. They just do them in women's sizes and then men's sizes. And it looks like those are probably exactly the same, but as you say, just a bit narrower. So
and you can feel that narrowness, almost a bit like anyone that's worn, like I haven't, but what I've heard about anyone that's worn the Alpha Fly 2s, I think it is, that have got you really feel the pinch under the arch of your foot. That's how it sort of feels. But the deal that I'm making with myself with these shoes is I'm not going to wear them for more than say 10k because I don't really want to find out, I don't know, halfway through a 30k run.
Yeah, they're a bit too narrow.
That they're really narrow. Yeah. So yeah. I'm just
a bit like the SL2s, the Adidas. They're quite narrow compared to other Adidas shoes because the Evo SLs are quite forgiving, aren't they? And they're quite wide, whereas the SL2s are very fitted and very, quite narrow. Same as the Pro 4s, they're quite fitted as well.
You know, you can on Strava, you can nickname your shoes. I've called mine, I'm a lady. So if you ever see those, you know which shoes I'm wearing.
Excellent.
So I'm a lady. But so that was a bit of shoes news for you. So I bought some women's shoes.
Are you going to expand into other types of women's shoes now?
No, I don't think so. I think it was purely because I found one of my favorite shoes at a really cheap price. I was willing to look the other way, that they weren't made for me. So it's kind of one of those things. And they're only 50 quid and they're brand new and
I must say I'm very tempted sometimes by the women's shoes because they get the best colorways.
The colors are always really good, aren't they?
Colorways are so good in women's. And then they never do the same colorways in men's.
Yeah.
It's mad.
I think if you've got narrow feet and you can just about get away with it, then it might be worth looking. I wouldn't recommend it, put it that way.
No.
But the two sessions I've worn them for, they've felt great. So
excellent.
Well, when I've been running a bit quicker, I don't feel that arch, if you know what I mean, because I wore them for the grass session and then for the track session. And for both of those sessions, I was running 10% of that, time easy. So the majority of the time I was up on my toes and I was on my forefoot. I didn't really feel the pinch of that narrowness or anything. So nice. I'll continue to use them, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's a bargain, that, isn't it?
I was really, really pleased with it. So I was really pleased. Yeah.
Because have they released Speed 4s now? They have, haven't they?
Oh, they've been out a long time, yeah.
But they've not had good reviews compared to the Speed 3s, have they?
I think a little bit like a lot of companies that make a shoe and quickly realize, hang on, this is better than our pro shoe or our top of the line shoe. We need to make it slightly worse. And I think that's what they've done, because the Speed, I just rue the day that I bought those Speed 2s in an 8.5, not a 9, because I always thought my whole life I was an 8. And I thought, well, because that's a running shoe, I'll size up a bit. And I didn't size up enough. And it turns out I'm not a size 8 because that's really pinchy. I'm probably an 8.5, but for running shoes, I need a 9. And when I ran Brighton Marathon those years ago, I was in pain the whole way through it. I thought, oh, this is just normal. This is what everyone encounters. But my toes, the blisters I got from my, from the toe box that day because it was so tight. Essentially, I just wish. But I tell you what, that came from is when I went and got officially. Like I went to a running shoe shop, I got sized wrongly, so I just assumed all running shoes just gave you blisters, and it's the running that is doing this to me, not the badly sized shoes. So I was a bit miffed by that. Really, I went and
but they always say if you're going to run longer, then you should size up a full size in shoes. So like in Vans and stuff like that, I wear a size 8. So like just as casual shoes, that because I am a size 8. But in all my running shoes, I wear a size 9, and it's something I've done since I started running because the advice is when you start running longer, your feet swell. So you need that extra room for your feet to swell. Otherwise, there's nowhere for your feet to go, and that's where the rubbing starts, and that's where you cause all blisters.
And you can do that runners not as well. I never really do, but the extra eyelet in your in the upper of your shoe, you can get a better lockdown, can't you?
Yeah.
But for me, whenever I've done it once, and I remember thinking, I'm literally cutting off the circulation to my foot here. So I haven't done it since. But you can do that to get a better lockdown on your shoe, can't you?
Yeah, you don't need to do it that tight, mate.
Not tight enough.
I don't even want feet.
So it's supposed to hurt. Apparently, it's running.
Yeah. Brilliant. Talking of shoes news, with one of the shoes you brought up in conversation earlier in the week was the new Puma Fast R3 that you were very tempted by.
I think they look amazing. I really am tempted by them, really genuinely. And this release that they have released, I don't know when they come out. They come out the day before London, something like that. It's the Friday before London, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they just look so good. The shots I've seen of them, they look so good.
Yeah, I think they've released them now, so all the Puma athletes can wear them for Boston and London.
Yeah. So I wonder who are any notable ones, like male or female in London. Is it Mohammed? He's
Mohammed's a Puma runner, yeah. And what's her name is now as well, isn't she? Charlotte Purdue is now a Puma runner. She's moved over from Adidas.
Is she fit and ready for London?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because obviously she pulled out of the Olympics, was it?
Yes, yeah. She had to drop out of that. I don't know. I'm not sure. But then there's a couple of Americans who will be running Boston, who are Puma athletes as well.
Molly Seidel, I think she's.
Yes, is Emma Bates one as well?
That rings a bell.
Right in thinking that?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they're wearing them. But Puma are claiming that they are much more efficient than other shoes they tested them against. But the test was funded by Puma. So the person who was doing the testing, are they telling the full truth, or are they skewing the results to Puma's favor? And what shoes are they testing them against? Are they testing them against other brands, or are they testing them against the Fast R2s or the original Fast Rs, or what are they testing against? So it'll be interesting to see how they do.
I'm just going to type in Puma Fast R3 specs, because I know that they've got a cut-in weight, haven't they? So it says here that they're 170 grams. Does that sound about right? Yeah. So their weight is 170 grams. That's based on a US size 8. So I guess that's a UK 9. Is that right? Or is it the way
No,
around?
no, UK 7, that is.
UK 7. And then 40 mil stack height, 32 millimeter in the forefoot. So it's an 8 mil drop. And it's obviously a race day shoe. And it's approximately going to, well, it says it in dollars here because I'm on Believe in the Run website. And that says $300. So what's that going to be here? 275, 280?
Yeah. Sometimes, though, for some known reason, the conversion seems to stay the same from dollars to pounds, even though the conversion rate isn't 1-to-1. They sometimes sell it for $300, and then it comes here and it's £300. So
yeah, but
I'm not sure.
The colorway that I've seen is it's really quite nice. It's a white upper, and the black Puma logo the Puma logo is black with like a red and a turquoise trim, and then the outsole by the heel is like a neon, almost like fluorescent reddy sort of orangey pink, and then it kind of transitions into a turquoise in the forefoot, and it does look really quite sexy.
Yeah, they do look good.
They do look interesting. And I think there's another, a basic prototype model, which is like almost like a off-white shoe, isn't there? Yeah. So I don't know how many colorways I've seen, but
I'm interested to see how they go up against the DV8 Nitro Elite 3, because everybody's saying how good the DV8 Nitro Elite are, and Puma have bought out another race shoe, which apparently is top tier. So which is the better, or is it a similar thing to like Nike and the Alpha Fly and the Vaporfly? Is it some people prefer one compared to the other?
Well, I'm just going to read a little bit out from this website, and bear in mind, a little bit like the running channel and any big channels that are out there on the YouTube, on YouTube, this could be libelous, and I do apologize in advance, but they can be somewhat swayed financially on what to say. But Megan from is this Believe in the Run website?
Yeah, it probably would be. Yeah,
she says blah 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 blah. The step-in feel is surprisingly comfortable, and even though the shoe doesn't look like it has a thick slab of foam beneath it, there's a very good amount of soft cushioning. It fits true to size, just the right amount of snugness without feeling like it's crushing your toes. I haven't had any issues with rubbing or hot spots. What's really impressed me, though, is how incredibly lightweight the shoe feels. My size 7 women's came in at just 147 grams, light enough to rival the Nike Vaporfly. Now, she says, let's talk about performance, both in the lab and out on the road. Here we go. This is key. According to Puma's data, I performed 2.5% better in the Fast R3 compared to the Alpha Fly 3. This would theoretically lower my 2:45 marathon PB to a 2:41, which is certainly enticing prospect. I really wanted to race a half marathon and a Fast R3 as part of my London Marathon build-up, but the Puma team had a strict embargo, so I wasn't allowed to wear them in the lead up to a race.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a bit of a, London and Boston, it sounds like, are going to be the guinea pig.
Yeah, because I saw a post from Believe in the Run, and both Megan and Robbie both had a few percentage increase in their efficiency when they were wearing the Fast R3 compared to other shoes they tried out. But Thomas, he was going to try them as well, but because they were on the treadmill where they have the like tube in your mouth and everything, so they can test all your oxygen use and things like that. He said he didn't do very well with having a tube down his throat, so he didn't actually get to do the testing at all. So
who's going to perform well like a blooming duck foie gras kind of environment?
Yeah, we just got to shove this tube down your throat to see how fast you can run. All right.
Yeah. Don't forget to run at 800 meter pace. Right, off you go.
So yeah. But that it should be really interesting to see how they come up against the other shoes. But I'm really interested to see how they come up against the Deviate Nitro Elite and see which are the better shoe. Because that's something as well. Because what's his name? Ben Felton, Benny's running.
Yes.
Did a shoe test the other week, and the Deviate Nitro Elite came out on top for him. So
yes. I saw the video he did, yeah.
And he's now been testing out the Fast R3. So I'm interested to see at London which one he goes for. Because if the Deviate Nitro Elite came out on top for the shoes that he tried out, but now he's got the Fast R3, which one of those two is he going to go for?
But again, I'm not saying this is an unbiased test, but was that the first shoe he put on with 4 or 5 different shoes?
Yeah, I know.
Was he technically the freshest that he would have been all day? Technically, maybe you'd be the freshest 2 or 3 reps in. I don't know. But how do you do a shoe test fairly? Because we're all human, and we're all going to have.
And if you do it to do it fairly, if you've got 3 shoes, you've got to do the test 3 times and allow each of the shoes to be the first shoe.
Yeah.
In one of those 3 tests.
That's a good shout.
And then average it across it.
Yeah.
So because it's a bit like Stephen Scullion did it, because that's where Ben Felton got his idea to do it from, was Stephen Scullion's video. And he tested out the Adios Pro 4, but he said he'd already put quite a few miles into the Pro 4 and it had started to feel less responsive, but still tested that against 2 brand new shoes. So you can't really get a real sense of which one's better, because he said when he first put the Pro 4s on, it really improved his efficiency and his numbers were looking great. But once he'd done quite a few miles in them, they didn't look as good. So if you use an old pair of shoes against 2 brand new pairs of shoes, are you going to get a real result from that as well?
And I think with these shoes that seeming, that could be wrong, because Adidas versus Nike, for example, Nike probably are going to perform best in their first 150 miles, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Because they wear so quickly. Like Beardy Rich was showing me some of his Vaporfly 3s, and the wear and tear on them already after about 30 miles is so visible. I don't know how that impacts the foam or the running form, but it's not good. It doesn't look good, does it, if it's already starting to fall to pieces? No, but like the Adidas stuff seems to hold its own, doesn't it?
Well, this is the thing. So the old Lightstrike Pro that was in the Pro 3s and the Takuma Sen 10 and all them lot, and what's in the Evo SL, the old type of Lightstrike Pro just got better and better. So the first time out of the box felt good, but then after they'd had a couple of runs, they felt fantastic, and they really held up, and you could do hundreds of miles in them and they still felt great, and the foam still looked perfect. But the new type of Lightstrike Pro they've made, that's in the Pro 4, is a lot more like Zoom X, because it's much softer. So I think it would possibly break down a bit quicker than the old Lightstrike Pro. I'm not sure it'll be as resilient.
Yeah, right.
I mean, hang on. Let me go and grab my...
Come here, Dace. Come here.
So I've run in these now. I've done 20 mile in these, and actually, to be honest, they still look brand new. I remember looking at them after I'd finished the run and going, there's like the tiniest bit of wear just on there. I don't know if you can see that.
Really.
Can you see where?
Oh yeah, I see that.
So there's the tiniest bit on the foam there, but other than that, they look fantastic. Like the outsole looks like it's never even been run on.
Yeah,
and I've done like 22 mile in them.
Yeah, my Evo SLs are in a similar state. I've done 200k in them now, and they look really
Yeah.
So they just need a bit of a clean, but they still look so good. But I was so surprised when Rich was showing me some of his, some of his Nike shoes, Nike racers.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's like the Alpha Fly ones you bought. They were more or less brand new, but the bit at the back had started to peel off.
Yeah. And but I mean, what this maybe is another question for another day, but do you think that the weight that you currently are, let's just say if you're a heavier runner, do you think you will get through super shoes quicker because of the way you land and the way you move? You know, because if you think about it, you're putting more force through the shoe. So I maybe the person who had my shoes could have looked and could have been a completely different makeup to me. If you know what I
mean. But the bit of the shoe that was peeling on yours shouldn't be something that peels from weight hitting it, should it? Because it was the rubber that was attached to the foam.
Yeah.
So it was the outsole had started to come unglued away from the midsole foam, and that shouldn't really happen from impact, should it?
Not really. No. I'm just going to see if I can.
I was going to say, like on Beardy Rich's Alpha Flies, there's bits that are like proper crumbling on the Zoom X, isn't there? And he's not put many miles in them at all, has he?
No, he's sent me this. I don't know. He sent me this in March, so I don't know what the context is, but he's just put more battle damage. I bet your Takumis look like new. So this, I don't know if this are his Zoom Flies or his Alphas. Looking at the bottom, I can't really tell, but they've got a fly plate, so I don't know what they are. But
have they got round things either side on the toe?
But look at that heel.
Yeah. Oh man! Oh my! That is proper wearing away, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's just Zoom X, isn't it? It's like exposed Zoom X just doesn't hold up well, really, especially the racers.
Yeah, well, because
I'll have to ask him if they were his Zoom Fly 6s or are they his race day shoes.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he sent a photo of the bottom of his Alphas as well at some point, didn't he? Yeah, that's
got to be the same shoe then. Yeah,
they look red on yours. They look orange.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's just a coloured.
Because those are his Kipchoge colourway Alpha Flies, whereas yours look red at the bottom.
Yeah.
The ones you showed me. I don't know. But yeah, that's quite bad, isn't it? The way it's wearing away.
Yeah. But I mean, he probably doesn't care because like a few weeks after that picture, he went and ran a 126 in Sheffield.
Wait, yeah.
And today, he had his Vaporflies on today. I think his Vaporfly 2s. And we all went to do Parkrun this morning. And we had a long run after. So I was like, I didn't want to say this, but I was like, Rich, we're doing a long run after, so maybe just hold back a bit. 17:49. So he's just gone and got himself a massive 30-second PB today at Pitchcroft. And he's, 50. Oh, sorry, he's about 12, 13 weeks into marathon training because he's obviously doing leads with me. And what a performance that was. And his splits look so good as well.
Yeah, to do that in a marathon block is just, crazy good. So he's in shape, definitely in shape.
Oh, he should have more kids. He's only had a kid about 3 months ago, and he's the fastest he's ever been. So he needs to have another baby. But he was in such fine form today. And even when we did like the reps afterwards, he was, because it was earlier. I mean, we'll probably get onto this in a bit. Well, arguably not. It's already 40 minutes. But I did a 30K run afterwards with Rich, Merv, and Sam Bauer. And me and Sam sort of hung back. Rich and Merv naturally pressed on a little bit because those boys are slightly quicker, and they were just making it all look so easy. And the reps that they were doing were so effortlessly quick. So they're both in good shape. And Merv is doing the Shakespeare Marathon next week.
Oh, is he?
So yeah, the Shakespeare half. Sorry.
Okay.
And he's hoping for sub 90, but he's so humble about it. I know he's going to do like, well, I don't really want to say this, but I think he's capable of like a 126, maybe.
Yeah.
He ran an 18:57 at Warsaw last week. So
yeah,
he could be on for a.
Yeah, definitely got it in him.
And
sure.
After, I'm just trying to remember the mile equivalents. After about 13 or 14 miles today of the 30K, Sam's like, oh, you just go on. You do this last rep on your own. I was like, mate, you do remember we did Parkrun as a warm-up? He's like, oh, I forgot about that. So he didn't. So Sam didn't remember that he'd basically done a 20-mile run today with a massively a session essentially today.
Yeah.
Having only done a marathon less than 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't believe Sam got through that as well. So he did really well. But no, it was good down at Parkrun. And his dad, Big Chris, got a PB today. Did 33.
Excellent.
Awesome. And he did it in true Bauer style. Apparently, at the end, he overtook about 3 or 4 people.
Excellent.
So I was like, this is the Bauer genetics, isn't it? This is the way you're made up. This is your DNA.
Excellent.
So that was good. Yeah.
What was the exact time that Rich ran? Because it was his first time under 18, wasn't it, today?
So his Strava says 17:46.
Incredible.
So I don't know if that's Parkrun official or if that's his watch, but he says 17:46, position 6, new 5K PB. Threw on the old Vaporfly 2s and went for it.
Amazing.
So Beardy Rich is a huge advocate for Nike, and he's got Adidas shoes as well, but he loves, he likes different brands, and I like that about Rich. He's not really too kind of. He likes to just see what's out there, and if he likes running in something, he'll use it time and time again. And he's put his 3-4-year-old shoes on now, probably, and run a really, really impressive. I mean, he's in the 17s now. That's crazy. Not long ago, he was 19 something.
Yeah, I know.
6 months ago. So he ran really, really well. So
awesome.
Look, I'm just going to quickly hold his splits up to the screen. So he did 3:31, 3:35, 3:35, 3:34, 3:23 final K.
Amazing.
So yeah, he did really, really well. So well done to Beardy Rich.
Awesome. Also, on shoes, which will then take us on to something else, is Adidas have released, ready for Monday, the Boston 13. And I've got to say, these look fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little search of them.
Excited to, have a run in them eventually when I have enough spare cash to buy a new pair of running shoes, which isn't going to happen for a while. But yeah, they've upped the amount of Lightstrike Pro that is in them. So now the whole of the forefoot is Lightstrike Pro, and then half of the rear is Lightstrike Pro, and then the bottom of the rear is Lightstrike 2.
Right.
And then they've got the rods 2.0. So it's the same rods that are in the same shape rods that are in the Pro 4s.
Yeah. Right.
But I guess they'll be glass fiber rather than carbon.
Well, I'm looking at them now, and it says they're in stock. I don't know if it's a release price. Available Wednesday, the 30th of April, 9:00. Okay, so I don't know if you can pre-buy them. Are they on a pre-sale thing? But they're 140 quid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Adidas website now, And I can't see them in any other colours at the moment, but they've got like
it's
a
just
white.
that white and green, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a white upper with like a sort of the teal stripes. They looks like a tidy shoe. So will you be purchasing? When you say when you can afford
eventually,
it?
eventually I will later in the year probably, and they'll become probably my session shoe.
Did you
I
say?
love the Boston 12s.
Did you say you're going to get a new pair of Evo SLs?
I definitely want to buy a new pair just so I can have a go at dyeing a pair. Yeah.
Oh, is that for that reason? Fair play.
Yeah, but no, number one, because I want to have a go at dyeing them. But number two, they are so good. I definitely want another pair. Yeah. Once I've done my mileage in this pair, I'm definitely buying another pair as my long run and tempo shoe. 100%.
I did my first ever 35k session in non-carbons today, because I always, in the past, for Manchester and Newport and Valencia, I've always worn carbons for the peak week long runs, just to get a feel and maybe to help me out when I'm struggling at 28k, 30k. And then SDEs are even yes, I was getting tired. Yes, my form wasn't great towards the end, but there is response there, isn't there? As soon as your feet hit the ground,
yeah,
they're not sluggish. They keep you moving, and they're so comfortable. They're so.
Yeah.
And Beardy Rich said to me, he said, "Is this a potential marathon day choice for you?" And I kind of went, "Well, they've just given me another problem to solve, because they felt so good today, and they're so light. They're as light as a super shoe, aren't they?"
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe I might even be slightly crazy and wear them for Leeds Marathon. I don't see why not, because I ran so well in them today.
And as you say, they'd be comfier than a super shoe, especially up and down all them hills.
Yeah. So yeah, they've given me another problem to think about. But
yeah, I've hit just over 200 mile in mine now, so 200 and something mile I've hit. Yeah, and every mile has been great fun.
And I wouldn't normally. I don't really like saying this, but when it comes to this shoe, I'd say this statement is true. Believe the hype.
Yeah,
because they really genuinely are so good. And because I think I paid 130 or 140 quid, 130 I think they were.
130 they are full price, yeah.
I think that's
it's a lot of shoe for the money, isn't it?
Exactly. They've almost got a super shoe feel to them, because they're so good on your long runs. So but yes, shall we go back to Boston that you were talking about?
So Monday, this Monday coming up is the Boston Marathon. So the original marathon, the home of marathons, with the first half that will absolutely destroy your quads, and then the second half that will absolutely destroy your dreams.
It absolutely looks like the ultimate marathon. It looks so painfully good. It does. It just looks wonderful, but wonderfully horrible. Horribly wonderful.
But we've got a few people who we know going over there, haven't we, to go and run it. So one of the BNR lads, Yarrow Sosco, he is over there, and he is going to take on Boston. So fingers crossed he smashes it out of the park. I think he had a little bit of an interruption in his training, with a bit of a injury, but he's been back on it, so he's got the mileage in. So fingers crossed everything will go all right for him. Yeah.
There's a couple of people I know doing it. So a regular name that you'll hear on this podcast of one of our girls that keeps doing really well on the distance league table is Aveen D. So she, along with her partner Henry, are out there right now. I've just seen that they've done the Boston Parkrun that you can do. It's called something Pond, Jamaica Pond, or something like that. So they've just done that. They've just done that Parkrun today. So best of luck, guys.
Yeah.
I hope it goes well for you. And then the two other guys I want to say good luck to are Steve Cummings and James Musselwhite. So both guys have qualified, and both guys have been running for a long time, and both guys have really, really deserved to be there. because
Yeah,
they
awesome.
ran some big qualifying times to get there. James
Awesome.
qualified by doing the Newport, which I did last year, by 4 seconds.
Amazing. Awesome work.
And
Awesome.
he's had a real struggle with injury on this lead up, so good luck to him.
Yeah, best of luck, guys.
And there is someone
there is, yes,
very special to us.
Yes.
Who we would like to wish a huge good luck to. So I'll let you take it.
Well, it is the one and only Tommy D.
Swansea's finest.
Yeah, who has been smashing it out of the park for the past couple of years and has just improved and improved and improved. Got the Boston qualifier and he is over there at the moment. But unfortunately, we saw on his stories earlier on Instagram, he has landed in Boston and then instantly got food poisoning and has been up all night being sick and not had the best of times and preparation for a marathon. He responded earlier and said that he's now managing to keep water down, which is a positive, but not the best prep.
He's just I shouldn't laugh, but he's just texted me this. He's just said, I was like, mate, I can't believe like how bad your look is. I don't know, because he's flown out to with his girlfriend. He's flown out to Toronto for a bit of sightseeing and a holiday in Canada. Then he's just arrived in Boston, I think, today. And then after this, he's going over to somewhere like Mexico, I think, for a holiday over in Mexico. Wow. So they're making a real big thing out of it, which I totally fully understand, because it's for maybe a trip of a lifetime. Maybe he will never do Boston again. I don't know. But I just said, so gutted for you. And he's put, grabbed a breakfast wrap from Toronto City Airport. And literally, mate, by the time we were landing in Boston, it came on. Spewing out of a Dominican taxi driver's window while a load of Boston builders are shouting, "We got a puker!"
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that's brilliant.
I've just got to walk half a mile to the 7-Eleven to get some bits. Hopefully, I can keep the fluids going down.
Oh, man.
So,
The breakfast wrap.
Puking out of a taxi driver window. You can take the boy out of Swansea, but you'll never take the Swansea out of the boy. Keep it Swansea, Tommy. Good lad.
Yeah. Normally it's a kebab that's coming back up out the back of a taxi rather than a breakfast wrap.
Oh, Tommy, mate. So you absolutely 100% deserve to be there. Whatever happens at Boston, control the controllables, which by the sounds of things, you can't control many of at the moment. But you're just there on merit. You've qualified for this race that is just the pinnacle, really, of marathon running. So whatever happens on Monday, just remember you have fulfilled your dreams of marathon running already, So you've just done so well to get there. And I just hope that you can get through this race. And who knows, maybe adrenaline will take over on Monday and he'll just have a dream run. And maybe this food poisoning will pass in 24 hours. Who knows? Hopefully it does.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Best of luck, Tommy. Just, go out there and do what you can do.
We got a puker. Oh, poor Tom. Oh, good luck, mate. So, but yes, good luck to everyone who is racing this weekend, especially those who are flying out and internationally, or maybe we have listeners from Boston. I don't think we do, but maybe we do. But good luck to everyone racing Boston this weekend. Please write to us.
Yes,
let us know. Is Heartbreak Hill really that bad? Because we hear a lot about it.
Answer is probably yes.
Probably yes. But yes, please give us a full debrief if anyone is doing it or has done it in the past. But yes, exciting.
Yeah. So on from Boston, we have some results from a marathon that happened last week. So we previewed your last year's marathon. In Newport, and that went down on Sunday last week. And we had a few people who we know running, which I would like to give a few shout outs for. So in his first marathon ever, Kieran Brooks, one of the B&R lads, went out there and absolutely smashed it. And he ran a 2:56.26 in his first ever marathon.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So amazing work.
All the best beating that time next year.
Yeah. And then also Tom Richmond, another one of the B&R lads, who went out with Kieran, and then from about 20k in, started getting shin pain and was struggling through the rest of the race, but still came home in 2:56.40.
Wow. So how many seconds difference? Wow.
14 seconds after Kieran. And he was struggling from 20k on with shin pain. I'm going to see if I can find actually on Strava, Tom's Strava, because you've got to see his pickup in the last 10k. It's a beautiful set of splits. So here we go. Newport Marathon. He said, first marathon done, enjoyed it. Could have done without the shearing shin pain from 20k onwards, but you can't win them all. But those are his splits.
Wow.
And look at how he picks it up at the end.
Wow. From 23 onwards. That is really, really, really impressive.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yes. Don't go out too fast. Look at that. What a marathon that is, going out slightly easier.
Yeah. So his first mile was 7:09, and then he picked it up in the next one to 6:54, and then basically 6:40s and around 6:40s, just either just faster or just slower than 6:40s for the rest of the race until 23 miles, and then he picks it up to 6:30 something and smashes out the park.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, awesome run, Tom. Then we also had Jordan Adams, who was the third B&R runner, who was at Newport, and he didn't have the best of days. He said he set off, and from about 5k, he just had heavy legs, and it just wasn't his day. But he still came home with a very respectable time of 3 hours, 7 minutes and 4 seconds. Wow. So 3:07. So awesome work from Jordan. But I saw him training on Thursday, and I was like, you're crazy, because he went out for a run on Tuesday.
Did he?
After his marathon on Sunday, and I was like, that's mad. And he was like, it just felt, because I didn't push it like fully race pace, it felt like just a really long training run. So my legs didn't feel too bad. So he's like run most of this week. So
I can relate to that, but that now makes me think that I'm not trying hard enough in marathons. Because everyone always says, oh, you need at least 2 weeks off after a marathon, don't you? But I feel like, well, I could probably do an easy 5k on the Tuesday or the Monday. But like, maybe I either recover really well or I'm not trying hard enough. So hopefully it's the former, but most likely the latter. But anyway, carry on.
And then other people who ran Newport, we surprise out of nowhere, Donato Esposito was at Newport running a marathon, because he was supposed to be running London, but he dropped out of London and said he wasn't going to run a spring marathon, and then all of a sudden he's at Newport and secretly runs a 3:07.18. So awesome work from Donato there. We also had Tim Stent, also known as Mom, who decided to go and run Newport just so he could go and run Cardiff half.
He absolutely kills me, Mom. I feel like his videos are getting funnier and funnier. I laughed so much on that last video he did. I thought it was
But
just so funny.
didn't even do any marathon training.
No,
Goes and runs a marathon in 3:09 and runs a PB 3:09:05.
I mean that's not bad, is it? I think he did his first half in about 1:29, second half 1:40. Would that make about sense? Yeah.
You can tell his splits are the splits of a man who didn't do any marathon training. I will say that much.
Yeah, it's like a nosedive.
Yeah, starts off at sub 3 pace and then just gets slower and slower and slower. But
he admits that he hates marathons. It was like Sifan Hassan. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. What's the point of this? I hate it. It's horrible. It's really hard.
Yeah, but to go and run a 3:09 without much training at all, incredible work. So yeah, amazing work, Tim. And great video of the day. And I love the fact he had to put up about 5 or 6 different disclaimers saying all of my jokes about Wales, it's in jest, honestly.
Oh God, he was absolutely killed me. Yeah, that was a funny video he did.
And then the last person I want to give a shout out to from Newport is Stephen Fenton. Who
he was in Marm's video.
He was indeed. He was in Marm's video. And he went out. He was hoping for a sub 3, but again, it just wasn't his day. And he had a bit of a tough last 10k where he slowed up quite a bit, and he ended up running a 3:13:58. So still really good time, but the last 10k of a marathon, man, it's next level, isn't it?
I've never run anywhere near a sub 3. I've never even run a sub 90 half. So that pace, I can run that pace for 10k. That's easy, no problem. But as a lot of people find out the hard way, it very quickly becomes very hard to maintain, doesn't it? Yeah. What feels easy at Parkrun doesn't feel so easy on a marathon.
No, especially when you're 20 mile in. And you've got 10k to go, and it becomes a brutal battle, doesn't it? That last 10k.
I've just got massive respect for anyone that goes out, even thinks they can do a sub 3, because it's such a massive thing, and just you know more than anyone how it feels to
it's hard work
to do it. It's relentless.
Yeah, but awesome work, Stephen.
Yeah, that's really, really good. So, it was nice to see you in
in
Marm's video. It won't be long before Jacob's beating him.
Well, that was my next thing to say on our results, because this popped up this morning. So a week later, after Newport, Steve has taken Jacob to the local home of fast parkruns. So he took him down to Walsall Arboretum this morning.
Yeah.
And would you like to guess the time that Steve managed to pace Jacob to at Walsall this morning?
Surely it can't be
Bearing in mind, Jacob is 8.
Surely it can't be lower than 19:30, because that's around about his PB, isn't it? I'll say 19:25.
He ran 18:48.
Flipping hell.
It's mental. He is absolutely flying.
Oh my word! Is he in an athletics club or anything, or is it just Steve that's coaching him? And
he runs with Kingfisher Harriers on a Monday night on the track. Yeah,
that is so. What a talented young man.
Yeah. So
wow.
Let me show you his split. So this is in miles, obviously, but he ran a 6-minute mile, a 6:09, a 6:01. And then finished that last 0.1 in 5:43 pace.
Incredible scenes. That's really quite impressive.
Yeah. So amazing work, Jacob. Just keep on. So somebody's commented. Sammy commented on Steve's Strava saying because you put pacing Jacob to a sub-19, and somebody's commented saying you're going to need a new pacer soon.
Yeah. Steve ain't going to be the man anymore, is he? He's going to have to start cycling. He's going to have to do a Matt Joy.
Yeah. But yeah, amazing work. So yeah, Jacob, sub-19, 18:48, incredible work.
Wow, that really is good. Really is impressive.
But there we go. So, do you want to go on to our training weeks quickly?
Would you mind if we just paused here, because I've got to feed my little dog who has her dinner at 5:00 and she's been waiting very patiently.
Of course.
It's 5:30. So do you mind if we just pause here for a minute, and I'm just going to go and put her food out? Right.
Yeah, no
Daisy.
worries at all.
Daisy.
Right, shall we go through some training weeks then?
Let's. Yes. Where should we start?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay.
Are we going to? Oh, I suppose we've already spoke about today's training, haven't we? So yeah, just go from Saturday last week up until Friday.
Yeah. Okay. So I did, starting from, where are we? Saturday last week. So last week I did 2 bits last week. I did an easy park run, nice and slow, with Sam, Blackmore and Mac. And we went up to Worcester Woods and just did super, super easy. So that was a 35-minute 5K. And the reason I did it so easy is because I don't know if you remember from last week, I was feeling I had that niggle in my Achilles, and it's like a phantom niggle. It's like paranoia, an early onset paranoia. It's gone. It's just gone. Yeah. So I think all I needed was rest and slow, easy miles.
Did you do any calf exercises like I told you about, or any calf stretches or anything like that?
And Sunday I did. No, I did the raises, and I tried to do the we've got we haven't got any, because I live in a bungalow, so we haven't got any steps, but we've got a little step in the lounge where I can just use it as a, I can, you were saying about using gravity to go slightly below so you can properly raise up. So I did a little bit of that, not too much, but
you did 1 or 2, didn't you? I went, I'll do.
It's fine. Fixed. It's gone. The pain's gone. So I just sort of, I don't know what happened. I was giving it loads of self massage, and I just think I needed a bit of rest, if I'm being honest. I think that's what it was. And who knows? It could have been training in my Takumis as well, because I've been using them for track and grass sessions, and maybe they're just a bit too aggressive to wear for too long. I don't know. For the pace that I was running at, I don't know. That could have had something to do with it. I don't know. But then I got back from Parkrun, and I felt so good that I did a volume toppy uppy, and I did a 10K, just a local 10K round, round where I live, which was nice. And then Sunday, got up nice and early, and I did a 30K, and I met Mac for 10K of it, and ran up to Malvern and back down, essentially. And I was really, really pleased with that run, because it was steady. The whole thing was steady. It wasn't a quick long run or anything. But the hill I did when I met Mac at Powick Roundabout in Worcester, going up to where I eventually started going downhill again, was about 10K, 11K. So it was a big, long hill. So it was about an hour of uphill effort. So I was really, really pleased with that. And then, so I took those miles a lot easier. And then, you kind of don't really take them easier. They just slow you down. Mm-hmm. And then by the time I got to the top, I ran a little bit harder coming back home, which was fun, running on some of those epically fast downhills. Yeah. So that was good. And that took me to about 90 or 85K for the week, which I was quite pleased with, considering the first half of the week I thought I'd be lucky to get like 5K,
Yeah.
So I was quite pleased with the way especially that long run. Because that long run's quite important for me. I do quite like to just get that long run in by hook or by crook. Just get out, get it finished. Yeah.
Yeah, getting that time on legs or
Yeah.
time on feet. Yeah.
So that was a really good run. Enjoyed that. I had 10K of max company, and then the rest of it was on my own. It was good. And then this week, I reckon I've had my favourite week of running so far this year. It's just been
amazing,
so random. It's just been a bit of everything. So Monday, I decided to do a recovery 10K, but I thought I'll run on the trails. And I ran a trail that I remembered from last year, but a little bit of it I've forgotten about. And, well, Redditch is built on a bed of clay, isn't it? So there are it's similar to where we are here. And there are some sections where it was like shin pad covering levels of clay. And it was just comical. And we ran over this little brook. So the closer you got to the brook, the muddier it was. And then we did this river crossing. And I tried to and I'd let Daisy off the lead. And I had to go and like basically rescue her because she got halfway and I just started going, so then I had to go and rescue her. So I got absolutely drenched.
Is that your video where she's in the middle of the of the water on a rock?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So that was quite funny. But then I got that was good. So I went and got that done before work. Didn't run Tuesday today. So Tuesday, bear in mind I'm in peak week, and I thought that I'd be running by now. I literally thought I'd be running 80-mile weeks, 150k, 140k, but that just hasn't happened for some reason. Well, because I haven't really felt great, basically. So I thought I won't push it. So I would have done a double day Tuesday, but I decided not to. So on Tuesday night, went down to Worcester AC, and we did a grass session, which was 1,600, 4 1,000s, and then 1,600. And then 2 60-meter strides and easy cool down. So in total, that was about 10K with the warm up that we did earlier. And it was really, really good. I was really pleased with my, I was really pleased with my laps. So my 600 everything was the same pace. So I did a 4:14 pace. So a 2:29 for the 600. And then my kilometer reps were 4:09, 4:04, 4:06, and 4:04. It wasn't long ago that I would have dreamt of doing a kilometer at low fours. And now here I am doing them on the grass at a relatively easy effort. And then the 600 I did, it was 2:27. So really, really consistent, which I was really pleased with. And the difference is here, I did that in company. So there were about 6 of us who all ran in a group. And we always have this chat beforehand, like what time you going, what pace you want to do, you're running 90-second laps or 8-second, and I said, guys, I think I'm going to back off a bit. And then I saw them all go, and they all went together, and I was like, I want to be part of that group. So I was like, guys, wait for me. So then I caught them up, and I was really glad I did. So because you kind of end up sharing the effort, and you chat a little bit, and
running with people of the same sort of ability is so good, isn't it? And
absolutely,
pushing yourself alongside other people who are pushing themselves, and you help push each other to what you can do is it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So I really like running like that. However, sometimes when people are running so fast that it becomes uncomfortable for you, I do find myself holding back because
you put your Mr. Sensible hat on.
Yeah, I think so, because sometimes it just becomes a little bit too intensive. So occasionally I will run in groups if it's only a little bit of a stretch, but if it's too much, then I'll run on my own.
Sorry, just to ask you, in those reps, did you take it in turns to lead the reps, or did one person take it on and lead all the reps?
Well, there were 2 people in the group who were finding it ridiculously easy. So naturally they gravitated towards the front of the, they went to the front of the, sorry, can you hear Daisy? I don't know what she's barking at. She's probably kicking off about something. She's probably just seen a leaf or something.
Someone's just done a ridiculous shot in the snooker.
Ronnie O'Sullivan's just got a 147. For context, I don't know if we paused the thing by then, but I've left Daisy watching the Snooker World Championships. So yeah, So anyway, the next day I went and did a fartlek run. I don't know what else to call it because it was so sporadically paced. And so it was one of those days where I just went out there without a plan, and I just went out there just to have a bit of fun. And well, I went out there to run easy. That's how it normally happens, isn't it? But then you end up running a bit quicker towards the end. So that was a trail that I'd read about. I'd seen it on Strava. I thought, I wonder what's down there. So I went down there. And I said to Laura, I'll only be 8 or 9K. I did 15K because I've really got my distances muddled up. I went a really long way. And I found this disused trail, this disused railway line, which would be a really good place to train in the future. And then I did some good hills, and average pace was 5:14 a K, so 8:30, 8:40 a mile. So not quick over the average, but it never tells the whole story on a fartlek, does it? Because there were times when I was running 10 to half marathon 10K to half marathon pace, and there were times when I was running a lot slower. Awesome. So that was really good fun. Thursday I went to club. Before that I did my easy hill run with Daisy across the hills, and the beautiful sunshine. It was a beautiful morning, and just had a really nice 10K up the hills with Daisy. I really genuinely enjoyed that one. And then the 400s we did at club on the evening were 4 sets of 3x400 with 60 seconds off, 120 in between sets. And my 400s were, I'll just really quickly reel them off. So I did 135, 134, 134, 134, 133, 133, 134, 134, 132, 135, 134, 131. So
that's all around just under 4 minutes a K pace, isn't it?
That's where I wanted to be, yeah. Because Merv had shot off doing 86-second laps, 90-second laps, and I was like, I literally don't want to run that fast today. So I was aiming for 96s because I remember you saying a while ago the 96 is that magic number for the sub 20 that I need. So yeah, that's where I tried to keep it and really enjoyed running at that pace. And then today was because there's no Sunday long run. So that was today. So I did my Parkrun with Sam. That was a 25 minutes, 50 or something like that. Easy-ish, steady. And then we did the 30K sesh with those 2 offs and then 3 ons. And the ons were faster than marathon pace because we did 2 loops with Rich and Merv, who were leading the charge. And we were running, I was looking at my watch and we were running 4:27s, 4:30s. I was like, lads, this is a bit quick, to be honest. I wanted to do 4:35s. And you can, if you look on my Strava, you look at my workout, you can see when they go home. and when it's just me and Sam. Because on the 3rd loop, when it's just me and him, we start running the actual sensible reps. We actually start running 4:35s and 4:40s. Yeah. But nothing was slower than Valencia pace.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That must be a massive confidence boost to know that you can do most of the session faster than you were supposed to, and then easily shift back into race pace on the end of the session.
And I don't know if they qualify as floats or not, but the offs weren't easy. They were sort of just about 8-minute miling, so 25-minute 5K, that sort of pace. And felt really good to sort of run steadily.
Yeah. So what were the ons if they were in miles? About 7.
Well, Sam was clocking them at 7:15, 7:20. Some of them.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
So, but the sensible ones were about 7:30s. Yeah, 7:30, 7:35.
So if your race pace is about 7:30, then I'd say an 8 is a float. I would say. I'd say float's normally about 30 seconds a mile,
right,
slower than your race pace.
But it was what I really liked about the run, and I try to do this every block. This session's horrible because there's no recovery. We did have a couple of recoveries because we were doing loops and we stopped at the car to get a drink. But the offs are not easy. They're quite tough. So really pleased with myself for kicking my own ass and running that big session. So 35K today. So that's about 23 miles, 22.
Yeah, amazing.
So really enjoyable week. So how about you? How about yourself?
Good. It's been All right, actually, this week has been a lot easier because I'm in the second week of taper this week.
Right.
So mileage has been cut right back this week. But the end of last week, it was still a decent sized week. So I hit 91.5, didn't I, in peak week? So last week ended on 70 mile. So it was still quite a decent amount of mileage, even though it was a reduction. So on Saturday, I ran down to Parkrun, so 2.5 mile down to Parkrun, and then I ran Parkrun, and I set off and went, right, I'm just going to run at target marathon pace for this. So run a 20-minute 5K. And as always, set off a bit too quick. And then after the first mile, I thought to myself, do I carry on at this pace, or do I slow up and pull back to 20-minute 5K pace? Instead, I got quicker, and I just got quicker and quicker, and ended up doing a progressive park run to and ran 19 minutes 4 seconds. So it was all right. It felt okay. So
you just to, if we've got any new listeners, for your marathon target, time, are you looking at 5K splits of 20 minutes or just below 20 minutes?
So well, I want to hit exactly 20 minutes every 5K. So my target pace is 6:26 a mile, which is 4-minute Ks. So that's what I'd like to hit. To hit if I hit target pace. We shall see though. But and then I ran 4.5 miles back from Parkrun. So that was a decent day. And then to finish off the week and hit my 70 mile, I went out and did a 16 miler on the Sunday. And within that 16 miles, I planned a session of doing 3 miles up, which I gradually got quicker on. So I started out at 7:53, and then second mile was a 7:16, and then a 7:02. So that was my warm up. And then I did 3 times 3 miles at target marathon pace with a mile float in between, and then 2 miles warm down afterwards. So 16 miles in total. And the blocks of 3 miles, I sort of did myself dirty, because when I originally planned this, I thought I'm just going to go and run around the lake and keep it quite flat. And then as I was leaving the house, I went, nah, I don't want to go flat. I might as well go around the hills like I normally do. And then trying to hit marathon pace on the hills wasn't marathon effort. So I put in a bit too much effort on the first 3 mile block, which then made the rest of the run a bit harder than it should have been. But
so that's what I did today. So I deliberately kept everything flat around the river because I just wanted to tap into pace. I know it's a cheap shot because it's never like that on race day, but psychologically I just wanted to hit those numbers. So yeah.
But what I will say is, across the 16 mile, I did, where are we? 896 foot of elevation gain. So that's double the elevation gain for London Marathon in 10 less mile. So hopefully that keeps me in good stead for the marathon. But so the first 3 mile block, I did it in 6:27, 6:22, 6:21. And then I did a 7-minute mile float. And then I did a 6:33, 6:33, 6:25. And then did a 6:57 for my float, and then did a 6:28, a 6:28, and a 6:23, and then finished off with a 6:59 and a 6:47 for me finishing off. So pretty good. So the whole 16 miles averaged out at 6:45 a mile pace. So well under that sub-3 pace for the 16 miles. So quite pleased with that run, really. Especially as I went across the hills, and but it was good. And then on Monday, I went out. So now being in the second taper week, so I hit my 70 mile for my first taper week. This week, I'm going to finish on 45 mile for the end of the week. So it's much more reduced. So Monday, I went out and did 8 mile, just nice and easy. But my left leg felt terrible on Monday's run. But I think that's because of Sunday's effort and up and down the hills and everything. But yeah, I expected that. But yeah, just 8 miles, nice and easy. Then on Tuesday, leg felt better, so it wasn't too bad. And I did 9 miles in total. And I went out thinking I'd do 1 mile up, 7 miles on the faster side of steady, and then 1 mile down. So the faster side of steady was between 6:42 and 7 minutes a mile for those 7 miles. So that was quite good. And again, I was going to go down round the lake, but I put on my Strava here, using something you always say as well. I did think about a flatter route down to the lake, but as they say, hills pay the bills. But then they also say, mo money, mo problems. So, so when I went out around the hills again for that. So yeah, quite pleased with that to keep up that faster than steady sort of pace. Then did my cross trainer and run back from the gym.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, I did, I ran down to B&R session and did their warm up with them, but didn't want to do the session because they were doing track. And I was like, that is an accident waiting to happen a week out from London. So not doing track session. So I decided, I set off from the track to go and run down round the lake. But in the first mile, I was still trying to make up my mind what my session was. And I had several things in my head that I could do, but I still couldn't decide until I'd finished the first mile.
Yeah.
And I eventually decided on doing 3 miles over target marathon pace.
Yeah.
So I went for last year's Manchester pace of 6:40 a mile. Yeah. And then 3 miles under target marathon pace. So anywhere between 6 minutes and 6:20. So aiming for about 6:10 a mile. And then did 2 miles steady afterwards back to the gym. And it ended up being quite a nice progressive run. So those were my miles, which worked out really well.
Yeah.
So I did a 6:40, 6:33, 6:30 for my overs. And then for my unders, did a 6:11, 6:07 and a 5:59. So yeah, really good. Quite pleased with that. And then today I've just done I then did my cross trainer S&C and run back from the gym. And then today I've just done a nice steady 5K. So I did 3.27 mile in just under 24 minutes, 23:53. So, right. Yeah. Decent.
What miles do you say you're on? 40 something without your run tomorrow?
So today I've hit 35 mile. And tomorrow I'll go out and do 10 mile and I'll hit 45 for the week.
And how will your taper last final week look?
So Monday will be a very easy 5K.
Yep.
Tuesday will be probably a slightly faster 5K. Thursday will be a nice and easy 5K. And then Saturday, shakeout run, ready to race on Sunday.
So literally, what's that? Not even 10 miles then before the marathon. Yeah. 3 5Ks.
No, 4 5Ks. So 12.
Oh, shakeout. Yeah.
So 12 miles.
Have you finally booked travel and accommodation to actually get to the marathon?
No, yes, I have. This week I've actually booked it because I hadn't booked it before now because I still wasn't 100% whether I was going to be able to get to the start line, let alone go and race. So, but now I've decided, no matter what happens, I'm getting on that start line and I'm going to give it my best and give it a good go.
So
see what happens.
Will you be in foggy London town for a parkrun on Saturday morning, or are you going down on the Saturday?
No,
because you've got to get your number, haven't you?
Yeah. So what I've decided to do is go down on the Friday, so I can get to the expo, get my number, do all my walking around the expo on the Friday, and then the Saturday, get up, do a shakeout, and do nothing for the rest of the day. Because in the past, I have been one of those people who goes to the expo on the Saturday, and then you end up walking around the expo all day, and you get back to the hotel on the Saturday afternoon, and you go, I've done 25,000 steps the day before a marathon. What am I doing? Yeah, so I've decided to go and do that on the Friday. So on the Saturday, I can do my shakeout and then just relax and put my feet up and do nothing, ready for Sunday.
Are you just going to do it locally around by your hotel? You're not going to do a parkrun?
Probably. It depends how close I am to any parkruns. If there's one close, I'll possibly go down and just go and run it nice and easy.
But and can you from where you're stopping? Do you have to get public transport to the start?
Yes. So I've booked a hotel, which is next door to the hotel where Daryl, one of the lads from B&R, is staying, and it's across the road from where Pete and Fraser are staying. So we're all close. And it's about 45 minutes public transport journey to the start in Blackheath, but it's within walking distance from the finish. So I decided to go that way around rather than staying by the start and then having to have a big journey back.
Oh, so you're pretty central then if you're up by the Mall.
It's basically the hotel is more or less next to King's Cross station.
Right. Don't go anywhere near Battersea on Saturday morning because you'll end up doing a 16-minute 5K. Or what's the other one that lots of people do? There's another fast one in London. I can't think of the name of it. I've seen Nick Bester do a few around there. It's like I can't think. Deptford, is it, mate? No, it's not Deptford. Oh, I can't remember, but there's a few fast ones, aren't there?
Yeah, there is.
Around some parks, yeah. So, that's mega exciting. You must be. Yeah. I think once you book your travel and accommodation, you start to think, okay, this is happening now.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. But now I'm getting all sorts of tingles and weird sensations in muscles, which shouldn't be tingling or having weird sensations. Like, just before we jumped on, my hammies were like feeling tight for no reason at all. Now they feel perfectly fine.
Really?
It's really odd. But as I say, I just want this quad to sort itself out because it's tight and it just feels on the edge constantly.
Yeah.
But it should be fine. It'll be fine. We'll get through it no matter what.
Oh my God, she's got my shoe. I've got the pet cam on and Daisy's robbed the shoe. So I've given her the run of the house. I'll be back in a minute. She's got me trail shoes. She's got me peg trail shoes and she's settling down, which means she's going to chew it. Okay. That I nearly only had a left foot then. Right. There's one thing I wanted to mention was after my 30K today, I went and got a Mackey's because there's one in, I don't know if you know Worcester, but there's one in St. John's. And did you ever go to Bamboo as a young lad in Worcester nightclub?
No, never went.
Mackey's, Mackey's there in St. John's was a local where everyone would end up. And I went there today and I bought, of course, way too much food. And I was sickened to learn that, Daisy, have you done it? Leave it. Just leave it, man. I'll have to shut you in there. Come on. In the lounge. We say this on the podcast every week. If you can't be good, don't get caught. And I've got cameras cameras all around this house, Dave. I'm watching you. Big Brother is watching you. You are being watched in every angle. So, I went to get my Mackies.
Yeah.
And I got my meal, and it said, "What drink?" I was like, "Oh, after just running 20 odd mile, all I want is sugar. Want a Coke, full fat Coke? You need to upgrade."
Yeah, you have to pay extra now, sugar tax.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So if you have diet, it's the same price, but if you want full sugar drink, you have to pay the sugar tax.
Ridiculous. I don't even know. It could have only been 5p extra. I didn't even hang around to see how much it was. So I ended up having Coke Zero, which completely defeated the object of getting a Coke, really. But having said that, I am a fan of Coke Zero.
Yeah.
But I thought that was worth mentioning. I can't believe now you've got to upgrade. How long has that been a thing?
A couple of years.
Why have I never noticed that? I think it's because I normally go. I tell you what it is. I normally go for a bottle of water. I'm normally a bit boring with my meals at Mackies. But now the bottle of water is about the size of that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You probably couldn't even get a bottle of water at Mackies in your espresso cup. So it's like a child size, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you never noticed in like supermarkets and stuff, the full sugar Coke or full sugar soft drinks are more expensive for a bottle than all of the zero drinks?
Yeah. I've never really done a proper deep dive into it, but that makes perfect sense. Yeah. And because once upon a time they used to be a lot cheaper, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I suppose as after an obesity crisis or whatever they're calling it, maybe that's why they're taxing everybody on the sugar. But they're also charging you for a takeaway bag. Again, this is probably revealing the last time I went for a Mackies. So I had to pay an extra 10p for the bag. Couldn't believe it.
What? For the paper bag?
Yes. Maybe that is a new thing then?
That's a new thing, yeah.
So I thought that's a bit cheeky.
Crazy.
It's not even plastic. Yeah. So I felt like saying, I don't need the bag. I'll just carry it. Like I've just been to Aldi. I've just been to Lidl. I've got 18,000 things. No, I'm fine. Do you need any assistance? No, I'm all right. But no, I had to pay 10p for the bag. But I tell you what, that was a good drive home with me.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah. I listened to you, and I got an extra double cheddar.
Good lad.
So I got 2 double cheddars and medium fries, 3 chicken selects, and me Coke Zero. It's quite an excessive lunch, really, for one person. But I've just done 35k, so I don't care. Literally, couldn't care less. And I went in there. That's how I got to McDonald's. From what you were saying, I was doing stretches. I was doing like not dynamic stretches, but I was doing a cool down in McDonald's, and all these Deliveroo drivers were staring at me. I was like, I don't really literally I couldn't care less. So I was doing my hammies. I was stretching my quads, because we've got this little warm down stretch routine we do at club now, starting from the upper body, and then you do do your lower body and stuff. And I was like, well, I'll do that.
Oh,
while I'm waiting for my order.
Listen to your club people, will you? Don't listen to me, do you?
I ain't doing calf raises, no chance. So, but that was quite funny, just doing that in the middle of the Mackies at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So it was quite good.
Brilliant.
But yeah, incensed by that, the Coke upgrade for a normal Coke. Yeah,
it's been like that for so long. Yeah, been like that for ages.
But I don't normally like. I tell you what, I don't normally like. This is normally like early podcast chat. I'm sorry we've gone back to this, but I don't normally like syrupy drinks, if you know what I mean. I don't really like. I'm at a fast food restaurant. I normally get a bottled water or a Tropicana.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
So maybe that's why I haven't noticed it.
Oh, drinks from a soda fountain are so much better than like a bottle of drink. Oh, mate,
they are refreshing. Yeah.
Like when you go down the tier list of Coke and the different formats it comes in, fountain drinks are always the best.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm willing to listen
because the syrup and the soda water is stored separately. So as it comes out the fountain, it mixes into your cup.
Yeah.
So they don't store it as Coke; they store it as the Coke syrup, and then it mixes with the soda water. And amazing.
Right. Okay. Interesting. You sounded a bit like Ronald McDonald there, knowing the intricate processes of fizzy drinks.
It's like that's why the Coca-Cola freestyle machines that you get in like Five Guys and Burger King and stuff, they are top tier. So good.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is the king of drinks, and the freestyle machine is just next level.
Yeah. I do like it. I am fond of a Coke Zero though. So it wasn't the end of the world.
Is really good. Yeah. And Coke Zero is way better than Diet Coke.
Yeah, I agree. What is it? Aspartame? Is it aspartame? Or whatever you say it?
They've both got exactly the same sweetener in it. It's just Coke Zero is the sugar-free version of Coke Original Taste.
Yeah.
So the full sugar Coke Zero is the replica of that flavour, but in sugar-free format. Yeah. Whereas Diet Coke is the sugar-free version of New Coke, which they got rid of. So back in I think it was in the 90s, Coke, in a like advertising thing, changed the recipe of Coke and called it New Coke. Yeah, and they released it, got rid of the old Coke, and everybody went, "What the hell have you done to Coke? This isn't good." So they then went back to Coke Original Taste. And Diet Coke is the diet version of the New Coke, whereas Coke Zero is the diet version of the original Coke.
And you can't drink New Coke anymore.
Yeah, you can't get New Coke, like sugar New Coke.
Because it's horrible.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But I thought I'd just tell you that, little story about my stretching routine in Mackey's. But where should we go from hither? Do you want to read anything out?
Yeah, there's a couple of comments, so we can get through those really quickly. And then we should probably do a couple of emails because we didn't do any last time.
Yeah.
The comments from last episode. So first one is from Call Me Al, and he says the woo is bang on, and that is in relation to the woo's comment about only doing races that he qualifies for or things like that, rather than be given a place. So his view on that was brilliant. Yeah. Next one is from Daniel Nolan 5113, and he says, can confirm the Brighton Marathon was absolutely roasting. Set off at 3:30 pace, but the heat defeated me and slowly started fading around mile 18, coming in at just over 4 hours. Main thing was getting to the end safe and healthy and seeing my loved ones. Crowd was awesome as well. Amazing. And I think that is a very sensible way to look at a marathon, definitely. So yeah, if the conditions mean that you're not going to hit your target, then slow it down and get to the finish safely, and at full health, which is really good.
Always another one. Yeah,
definitely. So great work, Daniel. Just over 4 hours is still a great time.
Absolutely.
So be proud of that. Next one's from friend of the podcast, Mac, and he says, hee, looking forward to slowly getting through this one on my tapered runs. So 2.5 hour podcast last time, and with the name Return of the Mac, because he came second in the leaderboard and unhid some of his runs to get that applauded.
What a legend. What a move.
And the last one is from Charlotte Taylor, and she says, I ran the Newport Marathon at the weekend. Sadly didn't see Mom or Jodie Mills from Crown My Run, but I did see Kelly from Kellogg's on the Run. So Matt Reese's partner.
Yeah.
It was another painful experience for me as I gave up in week 5 of 12-week plan.
Wow.
Do not recommend. However, it does go to show the power of going out with a club regularly, as I still managed a 3:59.05. We'll forget about the copious amounts of walking after 35k. But yeah, amazing. So gave up in the training in week 5 of a 12-week training plan, but still came in under 4 hours.
I think you've created a new training plan there. Just do the first few weeks and have the rest off.
Yeah, exactly.
And get yourself full. Yeah.
Amazing. So great work, Charlotte.
Cool. Well, we've got a couple of emails to read. I don't know if we'll have time to read them all, but we can certainly read a few. This one you'll like. This is from Lorne Downey, and he says, I couldn't wait to get hold of a pair of the Evo SLs after hearing you both rave about them.
Hang on. Is this some shoes news?
This is some shoes news. Yes, you're right. Shoes news. So I struck up the sneaky tactic of taking the missus to nearby Newcastle for a date day, and then accidentally on purpose walking past Start Fitness and coming across some rather fun-looking shoes at a bargain price. Who knew? Can't wait to try them out.
Amazing.
Or as he would say, can he wait to try them out? We've got a good email here from Stuart the email McKillop. So he's written in to give us an update about Brighton Marathon.
Ooh.
Hi Randy and Brett, just wanted to send a message that I did it, my first marathon, and I loved it. Brighton was amazing. The atmosphere at the front was electric. It was very hot, and a lot of people struggled with the heat, including myself, where I hit the wall at mile 23. But the thing that helped me keep going and stopping was imagining you guys in my head and what you would both say. Your podcast has been a massive help during my training block, and I want to say a big thank you and sort of like a thank you card, which I've included. I'm the one with the hands up in the true British style, wanted to release but held back a bit in an old British fashion. Thank you. We'll put this on our on our Instagram.
We'll put it onto Instagram.
Thank you again. You are my running superstars and heroes, as I can just relate to you both as normal everyday runners, just trying to get better and beat his own PBs. Stuart, the email McKillop. Amazing. Thank you so much, mate. And well done.
Stuart, that's awesome.
For smashing Brighton. Well done. You must feel very, very proud.
Great work.
We've got an email here from Nicholas Ireland, who says, hi guys, just wanted to say hello and let you know your race videos have been a real inspiration to get me going with my own races. Watch out for my massive elevation week. I just did a 50k ultra in Canada with almost 1,800 meters of gain. Thanks again.
What?
Nick Ireland. Wow. 1,800 meters in one run. Yeah, that's 6,000 foot, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. So we've had another email here from Kerry Vine, who's followed up about her Newport Marathon. Ooh. She's put, hi Brett, hi Andy. Firstly, thanks for reading my email and sending me a shout out. It made my year. I did Newport and I didn't get a PB, an hour PB, but I did get a 38-minute PB.
Yes.
38 minutes. Wow. I loved it, and I think that I'm going to sign up for Newport again next year. Good luck to everyone running London and Manchester. I love marathon season. Also, can you say that I'm looking for friends on Strava? I don't have that many followers. So this is Kerry Vine. So yeah, go follow Kerry Vine on Strava. Amazing. So if you're on Strava, go follow Kerry.
Yeah, that is amazing. Well done, Kerry. That's 38 minutes.
That's absolutely crazy. So very, very well done. We've got 3 to get through, so I might be able to quickly rattle through them. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Okay, this is from again. This has a image attached to it. I'll show you at the end. Okay. Hi, this is from Alex Jarvis, and he says, hi both. I just wanted to say a big thanks for your videos and the podcast. As a relatively new runner, some of the content that is out there can seem overwhelming and not inclusive, but you both make it fun for all types of runners. I started running in August and couldn't run. Oh, maybe August just gone. and I couldn't run 3K without numerous walking stops. After building up to non-stop 5Ks, I made a rogue decision to book a half marathon in 2025 to encourage me to keep at it. I've been sticking to the plan and I've built myself up from the 3K walking stop runs to running an unofficial half marathon in 2 hours 19.
What?
I've got the official half marathon in Birmingham in a few weeks and hoping to stick to the 2:15 pacer and hold on for dear life. Despite being a relatively slow time, nonsense, that's not relative, that's not slow. It shows what sticking to a plan can do. Shoe watch. What's thrown me? He's called it shoe watch. We can call it shoe watch if you want.
Bit like Crime Watch.
Yeah. Shoe watch. After trying a few different brands of shoes, I'm a massive Asics fan. The Nova Blast 5s are my shoe of choice for pretty much everything. I've got 2 pairs and I'd recommend them to everyone. Thanks to listening to my waffle and all the advice in your videos. P.S. I can't wait for the Running the Red Line movie. And he sent this in. So it's a picture of our brand, our what do you call it? Our logo. And he's photoshopped Ron Burgundy onto Brett's head and Danny DeVito onto mine. Livid. I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9". In fact, if anything, I'm 5'9.5". Let's round it up to 5'10". Right, this next one is from Neil Annis Tate. And he says, "Evening, Brett and Andy. Hope you're both well. My name's Neil, long-time listener, first-time caller. Some of this will probably be a little random, but I just wanted to join in. I really enjoyed the randomness of the podcast. Love the beer chat from last week. Andy, not so long ago, you and I were probably a similar level, but over the last year or so, you've really started to leave me standing. Inspirational stuff, so fair play. I'm looking to improve my running, as we all are. So I recently sent a membership inquiry to Bromsgrove and Redditch. However, it's been a few weeks, and I've not heard anything back. So I was wondering if Brett had any advice.
Oh, okay.
I also have. Do you want to have a?
Yeah, I can jump in there. So I was chatting to Mike, who is now our co-chairman. So this year, our old chairman Len stepped down, and 2 new people took over the role of chair. So it's split 50-50 now, the role of chairman of the club. And Mike said he is the person who is having to go through all of the membership inquiries, but we're getting quite a lot of inquiries every week. And it's taking him quite a long time to sit down and go through them all on his own. So if you have sent an inquiry in, he will get to you eventually, but it might not be super quick because he's, it's all on him, and there's quite a lot of inquiries coming in all the time, which is great that we've got loads of inquiries, but it means that he's got to find time to, in between everything else that he does, to sit down and reply to everyone. So I'm sure he will reply. Maybe pop down to a session. Yeah. That's the other thing. Just come down and say hello. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, we meet in the car park of the Abbey Stadium at 6:30 to set off at 20 to 7. So 10 minutes later, we set off for session for the warm up. But Andy, our group's coach, will be there, and you can have a chat with him and about membership and all sorts. Cool. All right. Awesome. He says also, I've been training towards a degree level qualification in massage therapy, with the goal being to eventually set up my own practice. This will be a big step for myself, having had the same job for 21 years, and my family, as my wife is already a busy massage therapist in Webb Heath. I hope I've not waffled on too much. As part of my qualification, I need to produce a research project demonstrating how the Jing, Jing, method can help with various issues. Jing is the school that I'm learning with. Excuse me. They're based in Brighton. Please look them up. I could explain how they work and methods used, but in this email would literally start to spiral out of control. If it hasn't already, my research proposal is to try and evaluate the effect of the Jing method on runners.
with persistent leg pain. Therefore, I need access to runners. I'm not entirely sure how you can help me right now, but maybe in the future you can. I do need at least 10 participants after all. Just wanted to reach out, seek some advice, and also congratulate you both on the excellent pod and great running. Great. Best of luck in London, Brett. Many thanks from Neil.
Awesome.
Well, that's exciting. Yeah, that's an exciting venture.
It is. So if there is anyone local, get in touch with Neil. I wonder what the best way to contact him is. Neil, when you hear this, get in touch and let us know the best way of contacting you, and then we can put out a shout to any local runners who are having issues like leg pain or anything that could work with you and help you with your what is it? Is it dissertation, or is it a
I've already moved on to the next email now. Sorry. I think it was a degree. It was a degree, wasn't it?
Yes. So, like within your training and stuff, we could hopefully find some people who are local that can work with you. So, let us know the best way to contact you so we can give that out to people. Awesome.
Yeah. And when you get, ingratiated within the club, you'll obviously get chatting to people and runners. Always.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of us within the club that will take you up on that for sure. Yeah. Cheers for that.
And the Jing method blends the best of advanced bodywork techniques from both East and West, including trigger point, fascial work, acupressure, and stretching with a truly holistic approach.
Okay.
Based on the biopsychosocial model of pain and modern neuroscience. Exciting stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
So, all the best with that, and we definitely will keep in touch because that sounds like it could be very good for everybody. So this last one is from Michael Ager, a long-time listener for us, and this is Mike from Norwich. Aha!
Aha!
So Mike says, "Hi guys, Mike from Norwich here. Just been watching your separate channels and the podcast. Keep them going, fellas. Great content as always. I wondered if I could get a shout out on your next edition as it was my 400th parkrun on April the 19th. I have done 399 of them at Eaton Park in Norwich."
Amazing.
Here is a picture from this morning. I'm at the front next to the young lady in the glasses. That is a few of the guys I speak with every week. They're lovely people. I did 27:45 this morning. That's roughly where my pace is these days. Anyways, guys, have a great rest of the week and good luck with your marathons. And that's Mike in the green at the front, proud as punch. That is 400th parkrun.
Amazing. Awesome work, Mike. I've just done the calculation, and if you've done 399 parkruns around the Norwich Park, that means you have covered a total of 1,236.9 miles around that park.
What was the mileage?
1,236.9 miles.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. 36 miles away. I'm Googling where is 1,236 miles away. I can tell you where 1,236 miles away from South Carolina is. Where is 1,236 miles away from Norwich? So let's see how far you've run. Okay, 1,236 miles from Norwich would take you to a location roughly in the heart of the United States, close to Minneapolis, Minnesota. This would involve a long journey across the Atlantic Ocean and into North America.
Amazing. Look at that. So
you've run to Minneapolis
at Norwich, you have run to Minneapolis.
That's pretty good. That's pretty impressive, Mike.
That is amazing work. Amazing.
Cool. Well, we're all up to date with comments and emails.
Look at that. So all that leaves us is the Strava segment. So last week's leaderboard at the top for our distance, we have Tom O'Connell, and he hit 90 miles exactly.
Wow.
So amazing work, Tom. Yeah, so great work. I'm not sure what race you are training for, but whether that will have another week of extra mileage on top of that, I don't know, because what other races are there that soon? Because if you're hitting 90 miles 2 weeks out from London, that's some pretty good going. So yeah. So we shall see what race you are doing, but great work. Yeah. Second is Kyle Blacketer with 88.3 miles, and third was Ryan Baker, third again.
Hang on a minute. I've just got to unhide some of my warm-ups. Hang on a minute.
With 85.9 miles. So that's some serious mileage 2 weeks out from London. So yeah. Get on that taper, Ryan. Get on that taper.
Yeah.
But awesome work, you three. Our climbing, unfortunately, Nick, our emailer, only made it to second place with his huge elevation.
Nick
In first place, we had John Braz with 8,629 foot. Wow. And in second place, we had Nick Ireland with 8,192 foot.
Wow.
But amazing work, Nick. And yeah, John, that's amazing amounts of climbing in a week. Nearly 9,000 foot. Mental. Yeah. But in third was Courtney Smith with 6,526 foot. So awesome work to all of you. And then our top three ladies. In first, we had Victoria Lee with 65.1 miles. Second was Rachel Watson with 56 miles on the nose. And third was Leanne Byard with 45.1 miles. So amazing work, everybody.
Yeah, amazing work, guys. Well done.
But yeah, I think that's us pretty much done for this week.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, it was a bit chaotic with giving Daisy a dinner.
A couple of interruptions, but it's all good. It's all good.
My trail shoes are unharmed.
Yeah, I did like the fact that you said she's got my Nike Peg trails, and then you came in with a Reebok.
Yeah, I thought she had because they're right next door. She preferred the Reeboks. What did that tell you about Nike? She preferred the 40 quidders.
Yeah. Brilliant. Right, so on that, we shall call it a not a day, a week. So that is it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Once again, go tell your friends, go tell your family, go tell complete strangers in the street that Running the Red Line is the podcast you want to listen to. And yeah, let's get that subscriber count up.
And now you know where 1,236 miles away from Norwich is. So
it is.
You didn't know that before, did you?
No. And I'm not sure anybody really wanted to know, but we definitely do know now.
You don't know now,
yeah. But anyway, so thank you very much for watching or listening, and we shall see you next week for
big week. Yes,
the final one before the big day. Best of luck to everybody who is running Boston on Monday, and we shall see you next week. Cheers, guys.
Take it easy, everybody.